If you don't already own a handkerchief flare skirt, you are wrong. Let me show you how to make one. I made use of 2 layers of flare and it came with a drawstring on the side to give it that elegant look. We also have this gorgeous elastic band with drawstrings attached. So lovely. And in this video, we are going to be cutting and sewing from start to finish. My name is Kemi Omorogbe and you're welcome to Kemafrik. For this skirt, you can completely make use of freehand method, except you are doing bulk production and you need a pattern. So this is exactly what I'll be doing on fabric. I'm going to be cutting a 360-degree flare. In order to achieve that, I'm going to take my fabric, fold it into two. Now, because I'll be making use of Ankara, which comes by length 45 inches, I'll be attaching extra to the hem of that Ankara so that I can make a 360-degree flare. If you're using crepe that or other fabrics that comes by 60 inches, you may not need to do this depending on the length of the skirt you want, but this is exactly what I did. But while sewing, I made sure that the part with the joining was placed towards the back. In order to get a full circle flare, you're going to take the waist circumference and divide it by 6.28, and mine gave me approximately 6 inches as my radius. Now, after folding my fabric twice, I'm going to measure the radius from the center and mark it out. Then we draw the waistline. Then I'll go ahead to cut it out. Now, let's do that on fabric, okay? Remember that my handkerchief flare has 2 layers. For the first layer, I didn't need to join any fabric. My 45 inches was just enough. So I just folded the complete 45 inches and I made sure that the other side is also 45 inches long before folding. And that was the length and breadth I used for the top layer, which is the smaller layer of my skirt. Then I went ahead to mark my radius from the center of the fabric like so. Now I'll be going ahead to cut out this arc, which is actually a full circle when I open it up. Remember that Ankara comes by around 45 inches and when you fold it, you have about 22.5 inches. So after cutting out my radius of 6 inches, I had 17 inches left. But before cutting out, the length and breadth of my fabric was around 22 inches thereabout. And I'm just ensuring that it is equal both for the length and for the breadth right there. Now here we have the smaller handkerchief. Now I'll go ahead to use this as a pattern for the bigger one, but before then, like I mentioned earlier on, I extended my fabric a little bit so that it could accommodate the length I was going for. So now I'm putting my fabric on fold twice, just like I did for the smaller handkerchief. After folding, the length and breadth of my fold of fabric was about 34 inches. Now, this is subjective. It depends on the length of skirt you want. Next, I'll be placing my first handkerchief flare on this so that I don't have to do any other measurement. And having done this, we'll go ahead to cut out the radius for the longer handkerchief flare. Now, for clarity purpose, the longer flare after folding was around 34 inches length and breadth, while this shorter flare was around 23 inches, no, let's say 22.5 after folding twice, okay, the length and the breadth. Then you can go ahead to cut out your radius from the center. Another thing I would like to point out here is for this particular skirt, because I made use of elastic band, I added about 4 inches extra to my waist circumference. You can do 2 inches as long as it can pass through your hip. That is fine, before cutting out your radius and all of that. That actually made me kind of shorten this skirt a little bit to accommodate that excess, because it wasn't originally part of my calculation. It was an afterthought. Now let's move back to what we are doing. I folded this fabric this way diagonally in order to increase the difference between the spikes and the center. Okay, so what I did was to now make the spike more obvious. So I created a slanted line towards the center. Now note that towards the center I didn't make it sharp because you don't want it too obvious. I just made it a little curvy, and you can see that while cutting this out, I added some 1 or ½ inch seam allowance to that part. I'll be doing the same thing on both pieces of fabric. With my fabrics folded this way, I'll go ahead to notch both along the waistline and the folded side of the hem, not the spike, the other side of the hem, because the spike is pretty obvious. In order to cut the band, you just need to take the waist circumference, add extra for excess, and measure it out. Fold your fabric and measure it out on fabric. As for the height of the band, it depends on the height of the elastic band. Because mine was 2 inches wide, I'm going to be adding ½ inch to that, so my band was 2.5 inches wide. I went ahead to press on fusible interfacing and to fold it at the center. Sorry, the 2.5 inches wide was on fold. Okay, now I'm notching the center, and I'll also fold it again so that I can notch the sides as well. This is going to guide me when I'm fixing my elastic band. Now for the sewing, we are going to start with the elastic band. Remember, I notched the center of this band, right? So I'm just going to draw a straight line at the center. Next, I'll go ahead to mark the midpoint of this center line. I will measure my 2 inches right there and mark the middle, which is about 1 inch. We excluded the same allowance for the band. Okay, now on this dot I made, I'm going to come 1 inch to both sides of the midpoint. Okay, and we are going to be creating our eyelets right there. But let me quickly run you through what I just did. Okay, so I measured the width or the height of my band 2 inches and marked the center, and at the center I came 1 inch to the side. Okay, and that is what will guide me in positioning my eyelets. Now on the 2 dots I created to the sides of the midline, I'm going to be cutting it out slightly, only on one side of my band, the front side. You know, there are 2 fabrics here, 1 fabric actually, but it is on fold. So I just created my dot right there so that I can insert my eyelets. You don't need to make it too wide so that your eyelet doesn't struggle to stay still. And that's one of the reasons why it is good to interface your fabric, even if you are not interfacing the whole band, but it is compulsory to do that along the part you are attaching an eyelet to. So here I am making use of my rivet to place my eyelet. If you want a tutorial on 4 things you can do with this machine, I'll link it up above and in the description box, because you can use it to attach your pearl, you can use it to fix buttons and some other things. Okay, just check it out. Now here is the elastic band I'll be using. Just make sure that it is some inches less than the length of the fabric you cut. It can be about 5 inches less than the width of the fabric. Now go ahead to stitch the 2 sides of the fabric together. So this is my band. I've gone ahead to sew the other side of the band together, so we have a round piece, just like our elastic band is round. Okay, now I'm going to fix my elastic band into my fabric band, and we are going to stitch on the side. We are not stitching on the elastic inside, we are just going to stitch on the fabric all round. And here I have done that, and the next thing I'll be doing is to top stitch on our made band. So here I'm just marking the position. You want the eyelets to be centralized, right? So I'm just marking the point. From this point, I'm going to sew all around. I am top stitching on both the elastic band and my fabric band. You need to stretch out your fabric while sewing, because the elastic band is stretchy and it is pulling the fabric band in. So you need to stretch it out and stitch it. Now this is mine done already, and I'm going to be using this very lovely drawstring. I bought it already made, but you can definitely sew your own, okay, if you don't have this available. And I am using my safety pin to pull in my drawstring for the band. This band will also be useful for some shorts, for some trouser, for your joggers, so you have something in your knowledge bank. Okay, now this is the smaller layer of my circular flare, and I'm just going to open it up here and mark a straight line on the sides. Okay, the part that I'm going to position at the sides, because that's where I want to put my drawstring. And I have a piece of fabric here which is about 2 inches wide, so I'm going to be stitching its right side of my strip facing the wrong side of my fabric, like so. And when I'm done, I'll flip it over and top stitch on the other side, or you can just press in 1/2 inch on both sides and stitch it down. We need 2 channels for our drawstring, so because of that, at the center, you know, after folding in 2 sides, you have 1 inch wide, right? So at the center of my 1 inch, I'm going to run another stitch right there. I'll be repeating the process on the other side. Here is what our drawstring channel looks like. You can see what I did. I top stitch on the other side, or you can top stitch on both sides, and I went ahead to run a stitch at the middle. Now for this fabric, it is about 1.5 inch thereabout, or 2 inches wide. Yeah, then I'll fold in 2 sides so I can top stitch, because we are going to be creating our own rope our own drawstring, right? So you can also make use of other types of drawstring like the one we used on the band. Okay, so after stitching, I went ahead to tie it on one end so that it doesn't rip easily. And I have 4 pieces here. It is just about 4-5 inches longer than the length of the skirt on the part where I see in my drawstring channel. Okay, so having done that, I am going to be using my safety pin, just like I did for the band, to pass my rope into the skirt. I am doing this only for the outer layer, that's the shorter circular handkerchief. That means for each side we have 2 ropes being passed in. Now this is what I'll be doing on the other side as well. I forgot to mention that before attaching the drawstring, please make sure that you fold the hem of your skirt. I already did that for the 2 layers of my circular flare. Now we are going to be attaching our handkerchief flares onto the band. You can position the spikes any way you want it, but the way I did mine was to position the spike at the front, at the back, and at the sides, so that the low point is in between these spikes, just positioned diagonally. I've seen some other persons make handkerchief flare and they position the low point at the front, the back, and the sides, while the spikes are in between this low point. That's somewhere along the place where you will have your slits. Now, in order to attach the handkerchief flare to the band, you're going to notch the point depending on where you want to position the spikes. Okay, so I notched the center of my band, the back, and the sides, just like I already have on my handkerchief flare, and then I went ahead to pin it on the smaller layer of the handkerchief flare. Went ahead to stitch, and next I took the other flare. Now for the smaller flare, I made sure that the spike was positioned the regular way, okay, with the low points positioned at the front, back, and the 2 sides. But for the longer flare, that was where the drama happened, and I just love the disparity between the both. Okay, so having sewn the first layer, we are going to be sandwiching the band in between these 2 layers, such that the seam allowance is in between the 2 layers. So on the inside, you can't find your free seams and on the outside, you can't see the seam allowance, definitely. So it is positioned in between the 2. When you are sewing your band, you need to pull the band, just pull it because of the elastic, and then stitch it on the skirt, so that by the time you stop pulling, the whole band relaxes. Now, this is the final look of the skirt. It is absolutely gorgeous. I wore it to church and people kept giving me compliments here and there. So if you want compliments, go ahead and make these. You can even make this as a ready-to-wear piece. It is currently trending. Thank you very much for watching. If you have learned a thing or two from here, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment in the comment section. All these engagements will help this video perform better. I appreciate you. See you in my next video. This is Kemafrik and my name is Kemi Omorogbe.